What do Elon's family really think of him? Behind the genius, discover the man through the eyes of those who know him best. Let's dive into the untold stories from those who know him best. Let's begin with Elon's mother, May Musk. Long before Elon Musk became a household name, before Tesla, before SpaceX, before becoming the richest man in the world, he was just a boy with a mind unlike any other, raised by a mother who recognized his brilliance early.
We admire him for that. We don't want to be him, because with those companies, he gets a lot of hate.
And fought against unimaginable odds to nurture it. May Musk, a Canadian South African model and dietitian, is not just the mother of one of the world's most influential innovators. She is a force of resilience, intelligence, and grace in her own right. Her life story is both harrowing and inspiring, a powerful testament to the strength of a mother's love and the courage required to defy a painful past to build a better future for her children. Mai grew up in South Africa, where she began modeling at the age of 15. Her striking beauty and academic excellence helped her forge a promising career path, but her life took a darker turn when she married Elon Musk. Behind the closed doors of their home, May endured years of emotional and physical abuse. The marriage, far from the fairy tale she may have envisioned in her youth, became a prison of fear and control. In her memoir, A Woman Makes a Plan, May candidly describes the torment she suffered during her marriage. Errol's violent temper and erratic behavior created a household where peace was rare and danger was constant. One particularly chilling account details a moment during their divorce proceedings when Errol showed up at her residence with a knife, prompting her to flee to a neighbor's home with her children. "I was terrified," she later wrote, "but I knew I had to get for my children and myself." Leaving Errol was not just an act of courage, it was a monumental leap into uncertainty. May was suddenly a single mother to 3 young children, Elon, Kimball, and Tosca. They had no safety net, no inheritance, and no support system. What they did have, however, was a fiercely determined mother who was willing to sacrifice everything for their well-being. The early years after the separation were defined by struggle. May juggled multiple jobs to keep her family afloat, teaching nutrition classes during the day, modeling whenever she could, and even taking on night shifts as a researcher. The financial strain was relentless. She often couldn't afford to buy new clothes or even basic furniture. Her children studied on cardboard boxes and shared a single mattress. Yet through all the hardship, May refused to let poverty define their lives. Her home, though modest, was filled with books, science kits, and endless encouragement. She made sure her children were always reading, always asking questions, always thinking. She created an environment where intellectual curiosity was celebrated and where limitations were never permanent. May's parenting style was unique, firm, yet freeing, structured, yet exploratory. She gave her children room to think for themselves, to make mistakes, and to develop their passions. Elon, in particular, stood out from a very early age. By the time he was 3 years old, May began to realize she was raising someone exceptional. Unlike other toddlers, Elon didn't just play, he reasoned. He would ask questions about the universe and expect thorough adult-level answers. He read voraciously, devouring encyclopedias and science fiction books like a sponge. His ability to understand complex ideas at such a young age often left May both astonished and humbled. But genius, May understood, wasn't enough on its own. It needed nurturing, and so she made it her mission to give her children every opportunity to explore their talents, even if it meant sacrificing her comfort. By age 12, Elon had built and sold a video game called Blastar. The family eventually moved to Canada, seeking better opportunities and a fresh start. Elon and Kimball enrolled in college while Tosca pursued her passion for film. Mai continued to work tirelessly, supporting her children as they grew into ambitious adults ready to take on the world. The hardships of their early years never disappeared, but instead became fuel for the fire that would drive each Musk sibling to success in their way, Kimball became a successful restaurateur and advocate for real food and sustainable agriculture. Tosca founded a production company and directed films, and Elon, of course, went on to redefine the future of transportation, energy, and space exploration. But none of their stories would have been possible without the foundation laid by Meti, the sacrifices she made, the values she instilled, and the belief she held that her children were capable of greatness. Indeed, May's life is a study in contrasts: elegance and grit, fear and courage, pain and triumph. It is the story of a woman who endured abuse, escaped it, and then built a life of purpose and power, not only for herself but for the family she refused to let break. Elon Musk's tenacity, his audacity to dream beyond Earth, and his relentless drive to innovate are all in many ways reflections of his mother's spirit. Behind the mind that wants to colonize Mars is the woman who decades ago dared to believe that her children could reach for the stars, even when their world was falling apart. May Musk is more than Elon's mother. She is the original pioneer of the Musk legacy, a woman who turned hardship into hope and molded potential into power. Her story reminds us that greatness often begins in quiet homes, led by determined hands and powered by a love that refuses to quit. In May 2015, Elon Musk, father of Elon Musk, called into The Money Show with Bruce Whitfield on South Africa's Radio 702. It was a rare and revealing moment, as Errol, often painted in a shadowy light by public perception, and Elon himself shared anecdotes from Elon's early life that offered a glimpse into the mind of the boy who would go on to become one of the world's most influential innovators. During the call, Errol described Elon as special from the very beginning. He was always different, he told Bruce. You could talk to him like an adult even when he was a kid. He recounted how, at just 3 years old, Elon began asking complex questions about the world, questions that caught even his technically inclined father off guard. Use only the audio in this clip with a picture of Elon Musk on the screen. Errol, who had a background in engineering and piloting, said that Elon's reasoning was far ahead of his age. He wasn't just curious, he was relentless in his pursuit of understanding how things worked. One moment that stood out for Errol was when 11-year-old Elon approached him with an unusual request. He wanted to attend a computer programming lecture at a university. At the time, this was unheard of for someone so young. But Elon, as his father put it, was not just a boy with big dreams. He was someone who already thought like an engineer. Using his connections at the University of Pretoria, Errol managed to secure Elon a spot in the program. He recounted what happened when Elon went to that lecture. With that computer, Elon would teach himself programming. Elon's experience there, surrounded by machines, codes, and grown minds, fueled the passion that would later lead to the creation of Zip2, PayPal, SpaceX, and Tesla. Despite these formative experiences, Elon's relationship with his father would later deteriorate into a fractured and painful one. Elon has publicly described Errol as a terrible human being, accusing him of being emotionally abusive and manipulative. The household Elon grew up in, while intellectually stimulating, was also turbulent and often dark. Errol's temper and erratic behavior, much of which mirrored the traits of Elon's mother May, but also fled, casting a long shadow over Elon's upbringing. The emotional scars ran deep. Elon has gone on record saying he no longer speaks to his father and has avoided discussing him in detail. He was good at making life miserable, Elon once said, yet despite their estrangement, there's an undeniable thread that links father and son. Elon Musk, as controversial and complex as he may be, possessed a formidable intellect, one that many believe Elon inherited. With a high IQ and a mind for engineering, Errol was undoubtedly brilliant, even if his brilliance was paired with a dark disposition. And while Elon may not share much with his father emotionally, it's difficult to ignore that some part of the genius the world celebrates today might just be rooted in the very man he tries to forget. Justine Musk, Elon Musk's first wife.
We were seeing a marital therapist, and I think he just got tired of the stress and the uncertainty of it. And the next day, I went into my therapist's office, and he had left a message for her to tell me that he was filing for divorce. So that was how I found out. One of the more memorable moments of my life, yeah.
Has been candid about the complexities of their marriage in her 2010 essay for Marie Claire. She described how Elon declared himself the alpha in their relationship during their wedding reception, a statement that foreshadowed the dynamics of their union. Justine recounted feeling like a trophy wife, pressured to conform to Elon's expectations, including his desire for her to dye her hair a platinum blonde. She resisted asserting her identity and ambitions, which often led to conflicts. Elon would sometimes retort, "If you were my employee, I would fire you," highlighting the imbalance in their relationship. Their marriage began to unravel after a car accident served as a wake-up call for Justine. She sought counseling, but Elon issued an ultimatum: fix the marriage immediately or face divorce. When she didn't acquiesce, he filed for divorce the next day. Justine would later learn about his engagement to actress Tallulah Riley via text just 6 weeks after their separation. Despite the pain, Justine has expressed respect for Elon's brilliance and vision, acknowledging the role their relationship played in shaping their lives. Tallulah Riley, Elon Musk's second wife, offers a contrasting perspective. The British actress married Elon in 2010, divorced in 2012, remarried in 2013, and finalized their second divorce in 2016. Despite the tumultuous timeline, Tallulah speaks fondly of Elon, describing him as deeply emotional and supportive. In a 2022 BBC documentary, Tallulah recounted a memorable Christmas in Boulder, Colorado. Elon had forgotten to buy her a gift, but in the middle of the night, he ventured out barefoot in the snow to pick wildflowers, returning hours later with a bouquet as a heartfelt apology. She also shared how Elon sent 2 lorry loads of flowers to the set of her film, along with gifts for every woman on set, showcasing his grand gestures of affection. Tallulah emphasizes Elon's emotional depth, countering public perceptions of him as cold or detached. She describes him as someone who feels emotions intensely and purely. Their relationship, though complex, was marked by genuine love and mutual support. Elon Musk's life has been shaped by powerful forces: his mother's resilience, his father's emotional distance, and his complex relationships with the women he once loved. From May Musk's sacrifices to Elon Musk's cold legacy and the emotional highs and lows with Justine and Tallulah, we see a man forged in both love and turmoil. And what do you think about May Musk's strength and the challenges she faced? How do you view Elon Musk's influence on Elon Musk's life? And what's your take on his relationships with his ex-wives? Were they stories of love, control, or both? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.